more excited than just the game itself. I'm really looking forward to it. Sweet, just getting kickoff. The whistle blows, and we're off for 90 complete minutes of soccer coming at you on your ESPN Plus screen. New Mexico State with a quick turnover, and GCU is taking possession. Gets it into Ireshad, over to Alderson, back to Ireshad. So we get some passes in the midfield. Over to Valdez with GCU having numbers in the front. Valdez making a run over to Gorley. Couldn't quite contain it. Bounces off to Ironshed with the deep shot. But not accurate enough, as that one's going to go out of bounds for a goal kick from Gottschalk.
And surprisingly, with how involved she is on the offense, JC Ironshad remains scoreless on the regular season. She did have a goal in one of their exhibition matches before the season started, but she is very involved on that offensive side, and they've definitely tried to get her plenty of opportunities, just unfortunately unable to capitalize so far, and we'll see if that changes in this match or their next one going into the WAC tournament.
Some tussling in the midfield, back and forth before Leah Piro gets possession, but it's cut off by the Aggies. Going in the other direction. Chacon here had the ball off the pass, and the Aggies are now going to go with a throw-in. It's going to be a deep throw-in. Loma McNeese is there making a move, but it's deflected out of bounds by Alicia Ganif for the Lopes. And we're going to have a corner kick, our first corner kick on the night.
And this GCU defense is going to try to keep up with the NMSU offense. They've got Jordan Ferguson in at goal. It did sound like we were going to have Hutton in before the match, but they ended up changing it last minute, so it seems. But both of those goalkeepers very capable on defense.
Back and forth between the teams in dangerous position for the Lopes. Ultimately knocked out of bounds by Loma McNeese. Couldn't quite get the job done there for the first scare of the Lopes on the night.
Yeah, and McNeese is going to be one of those players for that NMSU offense that GCU is going to want to try to keep out of the back of the net. She's leading the team right now with 8 goals. She also has 4 assists, so she's extremely capable, especially close to the box like that, and she almost made him pay.
You see more jostling for possession, but the Aggies are going to maintain possession here, as they've been all over the place this game. They've been very active and are playing very aggressive with the deep throw in here. Some physical play there. Going to be a foul on the Aggies, and GCU is going to take possession, trying to get things going quickly here. Reese Mendenhall, Ganif, going to take the kick here. The defensive third for the Lopes. And they wave Ganif off for Jordan Ferguson to take this kick.
And I understand that choice. Ferguson has quite the boot. She's really capable of putting the ball where they need it, transitioning onto the offensive side.
Boots it deep, possession quickly controlled by the Aggies, but it goes down. Valdez had a chance, slips through her feet. Still playing aggressive, getting in there, and the Aggies are just going to knock it out of bounds to regroup. Lopes get it in quickly, bounces awkwardly off of Gorley's knee, goes back out of bounds, and it's going to be possession for the Aggies. Unfortunate turn of events there for the Lopes.
Yeah, once they got the ball down there, you thought maybe they'd have an opportunity to at least get it towards the goal, but great defense by New Mexico State changes that plan.
Right there, once again, Valdez gets the touch, but an unfortunate bounce, and it's going to go the way of the Aggies. Although quickly turned back around, we're going to see a lot of that tonight, as we already have. Valdez on the wing, looking for some help, finds some help. Gorley with the ball, twists, turns. No can do, taken away by the Aggies. And the Aggies are going to keep possession here. Sophia Beersworth down the side. Pass it inside. Some physical play with the defense. The Lopes have numbers on the defensive side. The play is going to be stopped in favor of GCU taking possession.
You can see both of these teams playing so physically, and that comes down to the intensity of, like we mentioned, the rivalry between these two schools, but also just the importance of this match as we finish out the regular season.
Yeah, just 5 minutes in, you can tell what kind of match this is going to be. Very physical. It should be a great match overall. Teams with plenty of chances. Valdez with a chance knocked away by Landy Williams for the Aggies. She's been very active with throw-ins. Speaking of throw-ins, Reese Mendenhall here for the Lopes gets in quickly. Valdez looks inside, but her and Mendenhall with some play. Back out by Williams. Denying possession on her side of the field. Mendenhall is going to take another throw-in to Valdez, who looks in. Sees nothing, goes back to Mendenhall. Creeps forward, but numbers are not there. And so far, the Aggies have played very suffocating defense. They are not giving this Lopes team any room.
And you're going to have to play defense like that for the rest of this match if you hope to keep GCU scoreless, or at least have them not score too much, because this team is just so good on that side of the pitch.
GCU has been favoring this near side of the field, with Valdez and Mendenhall making plenty of plays. But the Aggies take control, but the Lopes keep fighting. It's going to be Pirro down here with room. Pirro's making the move. There is a physical play, and a whistle is blown. And GCU is going to get a kick here just outside of the box.
This is a huge opportunity for GCU. Great job by Pirro to get the ball in position there and end up taking that foul. Beautiful spot for a free kick for GCU. We'll see now if they can capitalize on this set piece.
Landy Williams is going to be the one picking up that foul. And we're going to see Gianna Gorley on this set piece to go up early here. Gorley starting the run. Goes over, curves it just around the wall, but saved by the goalkeeper. Gottschalk gets the save on that one. Close, but no cigar for the Lopes.
And I think that was a good choice. You'd expect her to go over the top in that situation. She ends up just curving it on the ground around the defenders, potentially throwing Gottschalk off her rhythm, but it seemed like she almost saw it coming, which just shows the IQ of both of those players.
She was fully prepared. It looks like maybe some miscommunication right there between Valdez and Gorley, who quite was making the run as if also to not go off sides. As the Aggies look to have turned possession, and they're moving down the field into the Lopes third. But it's knocked out of bounds, Alicia Ganif. And Chelsea, I know we talk about her a lot, but Ganif has been a massive presence on defense for these Lopes.
Yeah, she's arguably their most important defender, and really it shows in the time in the matches she's not in. Sometimes that defense really suffers. I mean, she's one of the best pieces they have on that side of the pitch, and she's, as you said, so involved in stopping the other teams.
Absolutely. Beersworth there with the cross. Didn't turn into much, but the ball is still in this GCU defensive third. Although a steal by Ironshad turns the tides. Pirro making a run down there, sees Valdez, wants Valdez, and she's got some room, but the speed is not enough. Distance outweighs it. Going back to Gottschalk, quickly gets rid of it. And jostling for possession in the middle is going to send it high toward midfield. And the Aggies take control. Passing it around, maintaining possession, understanding what they need to do next. They have room on the near side, opt to use it. Cross back over, denied by the Lopes. Gorley and Williams go in for the header. Williams wins it back to the Aggies defense. And they're going to send it all the way back to Gottschalk, who's a little outside the box. Williams with possession deflected by Leah Pirro. She needs to make space. She gets it. She's going deep, although Williams would not let her by easy. And nothing is called despite the physical play. As we see Pirro get up and walk off back to GCU's side of the pitch.
I think Piro is definitely looking for another foul to be called against that Aggies defense. But that time, the officials say play on, and now the Aggies head the other direction.
We've talked about the Aggies defense and what they're capable of. They will play you physically and then also be opportunistic on offense here as we see an opportunity go by. Sophia Beersworth working on the near side. Nice little spin move there. Goes over to the Aggies. Deflected out of bounds by a Lope. Great defense there, but the Aggies are now firmly in attacking territory as the Lopes have pushed almost all their numbers down the back. You see Valdez, who is the striker on the near side, back playing defense. Gorleen Williams again with the physical play. Nothing is called. The ball goes out of bounds, and a possession is awarded to the Lopes.
It seems like the players are really testing the boundaries of these officials, seeing what they will and won't call. And so far, it's not super clear what they're going to let these players get away with, so we'll see as they continue to test that.
GCU's going to be setting up shop here on the far side. Iron Shad almost possession on a pass from Prokop, but not close enough. Prokop trying to use the speed to work around the defender, gets the advantage, crosses it back over, but no one's home for the Lopes as the Aggies send it back the other direction, and they got some room to work on the near side of things. And they're going to dance with possession deep in their own territory.
And you see Gorley playing back there, as she often does on the beginning of defensive side for the Lopes, just hoping that she can get a mistake drawn.
A mistake right there by the Lopes on defense, quickly recovered, and the Lopes are going to take the ball. That was a massive opportunity for the Aggies, and it looks like a little bit of miscommunication to let an Aggie slip through the defenses right there.
Yeah, and it was almost close to being offsides, but again, the officials just let it go there, and NMSU just unfortunately not able to capitalize, and GCU's defense was a big part of that as they were able to recover and stop that from being the first goal of this one.
Piro pass to Valdez along the side. Valdez looking to continue to go back outside, looks for the cross, gets the cross in a little too hard over the head of JC Ironshad on that side of things. Saved in by Gianna Gorley, passed back out. Prokop can't get ahead on it. Over to Piro, but not enough, and the Aggies send it out deep into the Lopes territory. That was just going to slide out of bounds. No one's going to get there in time as the Lopes maintain possession. And with 13 minutes into our game, we've seen both sides go back and forth, play great games, but it's all about possession, who has it, and who can make opportunities off of others' mistakes.
I mean, arguably, it's been pretty 50-50 so far with opportunities as well as possession for both of these teams, so they're going to have to maybe change approach a little bit to try to be the first one to score.
Prokop over to Piro, who gets it to Valdez, just bounces off her foot. Again, in a unfriendly GCU bounce, going out of possession, into the Aggies' possession now here. So you see the Aggies moving forward, but to no avail. GCU retreats the ball back to the keeper, brings it back to the defenses, and we're going to play some monkey in the middle for the Lopes passing. That's stolen back on the side of the Aggies momentarily, but GCU has it back. Prokop looking to make a run. Cannot do so. Forced out by New Mexico State. And GCU will have a throw-in. It's going to be in the middle of the field. Alderson to Piro. Piro looking for a pass. Doesn't see it. Opts to go back over. Nice move. Tries to find something. Pass inside to Gorley, but the ball has too much gas on it. Gorley can't quite get there, and McKenna Gottschalk with another goalie kick on the night.
And I have a feeling it's going to be really hard for this GCU offense to find opportunities for Gorley, as I imagine if NMSU did their scouting, they know how dangerous Gorley is on the offensive side, and they're going to try to keep her out of the back of the net. But as I mentioned in the beginning, this GCU team has so many great offensive threats that it might just make it so Gorley can create for someone else.
Absolutely. You may not have to scout very far on this Lopes team to get to Gianna Gorley and the offensive prowess she is capable of. But they have locked her down well so far in this match, as now the Aggies are in nice possession here, dribbling it around the team. Beersworth with the cross. Deflected. Goes out of bounds. Deflection off of Becca Valdez. And the Aggies are once again going to have a corner kick in a crucial situation here. Massive opportunity for the Aggies to go up 1-0 in this game.
Yeah, we'll see if they can capitalize on this set piece. Huge opportunity for them to get ahead in a very, very important match for both of these teams.
Cross coming in for the Aggies. Off of a head, too high in the air and back out of bounds. Although they're saying that it was deflected by a Lope. So that ball is going to maintain as another corner for the Aggies.
You take another look at the corner that just happened. Great placement of the pass, just couldn't get her head quite on it in the right place, and now another corner.
The corner's coming in the cross. And we have room and a goal! The opening goal of the match goes to Loma McNeese and the Aggies.
And
Get
now,
on the board first here, 1-0 in the 16th minute.
And now Loma McNeese with that one continues to be the goal-scoring leader on this team. Now with 9 goals on the season. Just look at that beautifully placed pass. Goes right on the head of McNeese. What a great play with the pass. Great play with the positioning. Just beautiful textbook set piece for NMSU.
Absolutely. Right place at the right time. Textbook, like you said, Chelsea. But the Lopes are going to waste no time. Valdez quickly down here, as is the rest of the team. Pass back to Mendenhall, finding Gorley. Gorley's got some room, navigating the defense. Physical play on Gorley, forced out by the Aggies. There's some bumping and physicality there. Gianna Gorley's going to get a foul. Nothing too serious, but the Aggies are going to take possession in this one.
And maybe a little bit of a frustration play for Gorley as she shoves Hernandez to the ground.
Yeah, fighting for the ball there. Just got a little too much on that one. The refs are continuing to see what they will allow, what they won't allow. And that was on the do not allow list, as the Lopes are fighting for possession here. They have opening down on the right side, the far side. They choose to take after it, but it's forced out of bounds by the Aggies and deflected off a Lope. So the Aggies take possession, and they're going to keep it deep in their own area, except before passing it down with headers back and forth between both teams, ultimately ending out of bounds and going in as a Lopes ball with Renee Signs doing the throw-in. Signs to Iron Shad, deflected by Valenti. Over to Pirro with possession, working around her defender, makes the defender slip there. Valdez has Mendenhall making a run to the left, opts not to use her. Goes over to try to find Gorley, but the Aggies defense squeezes it out. McNeese is head on for the Aggies, trying to make something work, but it goes out of bounds as a foul to McNeese on Reese Mendenhall.
Take another look at the play that we just saw. Physical play, great job by Mendenhall to keep it in, and they end up calling the foul on McNeese, and now it'll be GCU possession. That wouldn't have been possible without the hustle there from Mendenhall.
Yeah, despite the score being 1-0, plenty of effort from both of these squads. It was as if this game was still 0-0. If anything, GCU now is even more motivated as they get the throw in here. To Becca Valdez with possession. Has Mendenhall back to Valdez. Has room in the middle. Goes to the middle. Not quite. Physicality and a whistle is blown.
I mean, that was clearly a shove. I think that's a great call by the officials. And now it's a great opportunity for GCU now with a free kick right in the middle.
We talked about the Aggies wanting to put the brackets on Gorley. We see a foul through some physicality there on Gorley as now Leah Pirro looks to take the free kick. Getting everyone in position before we get the kick. The whistle blows. Pirro's off to the races. Shoots. Barely misses to the near side of the goal. McKenna Gottschalk does a great job of stopping any potential room there was to squeeze it in, as it was an oh-so-close opportunity by Pirro.
Yeah, another great read by Gottschalk. Had that been a little over to the right, she still would have been right there to stop it. But also a great choice by Pirro to try to go for goal from that spot. Beautiful spot to do it from. I mean, right in the middle, not too far out. But unfortunately, the score remains 0 for the Lopes.
The Aggies have possession. But a ball goes too far into Lopes territory, and the Lopes are going to easily recover and take over on possession. Ganef passed over all the way to Signs. Broken up by an Aggie, although Iron Shad fights for possession. Great job by Iron Shad and Signs to keep the Lopes in it. Lindsay Prokop making a run down, but that's going to be in, rather on the feet of McKenna Gottschalk and into Aggie possession. Just a slip outside by the Aggies, now going back to the Lopes. Renee Signs hits it. It goes out of bounds, deflected off of an Aggie, and the Lopes want to move this one in fast. To Gorley, who's double teamed. Alderson has the ball, tripped up a little bit. Play continues. Ganef moved up. Passes it over. Prokop is there. Keeps it inbounds back to Signs. Signs to Iron Shad. Can't quite get that one, and the Aggies are going to take possession back. Omen McNeese looking for an opportunity. Passes not found by Valenti, who then makes a great defensive play, takes it back. McNeese here with the ball, deflected by Pirro. Pirro has possession, fighting with McNeese, back over to Valdez. Valdez. Pass back. Back and forth for both of these teams. Ultimately, the Aggies are going to end with possession here on what is a foul call. And the pass is sent right in to the feet of the Lopes. Alderson there with the ball. Over to Pirro. Stolen by Landy Williams. Passed over to the Aggies. Kept on the far side, using that speed to get an edge. On the far side, looking for a cross, denied by Signs. Playing man-on-man. Signs with great job on defense there, and a great slide tackle to send the ball out of bounds. We're going to get another goal kick, or excuse me, corner kick here for the Aggies. As last time we've seen some corner kicks that resulted in a goal for New Mexico State.
Yeah, and they already have 4 corners, which was obviously more than GCU would like to give up early on here. And as you said, they already capitalized on 1. Let's see if it happens again.
Cross comes in. GCU gets in the way first. Deflected off multiple players back toward the Aggies' direction. Continue possession. Deep cross coming in. Deflected by Ferguson. Gets her hand on it. And she's going to get that one. But New Mexico State is saying that she touched it before it went out of bounds. Jordan Ferguson is protesting that, but it looks like the Aggies are going to be rewarded with another quick corner. The cross comes in, deflected off a lope. And that's Leah Pirro getting some advances for the Lopes. Although no one is there, the Aggies maintain possession with another deep cross coming in. Deflected off a few lopes and in the possession of the Aggies. Deflected off a lope on the ensuing kick. Becca Valdez with possession now for GCU. Finds Gorley, then Mendenhall. Through the legs of Valdez. And possession will stay with Jenna Johannes. New Mexico State back to Gottschalk. And Chelsea, really this match has been a back and forth between these two teams, with New Mexico State finding the advantage when they had the opportunity.
Yeah, it's been very even with possession, and at first it was pretty even with opportunities, but New Mexico State's had more and was able to capitalize on one, which is obviously the difference maker in the score.
As we continue to see the two teams fight back and forth, Leah Pirro has some room, though not many lopes forward with her. With the deep pass in, not quite on target, Gottschalk is going to take it for a goal kick. And we are going to get a few subs here.
Yeah, we finally get the first substitution of the match. It took quite a while for either of these teams to look to replace someone on either squad. But finally, they're going to do just that. GCU putting in Ani Jensen for JC Ironshad.
And given the weather we're experiencing tonight, I'm sure now it is in the upper 60s here in Phoenix, Arizona. Feels great. If you're ever in the area and knows what the alternative is like, the weather's great here. Probably not going to see a hydration break in this one. Around this time is when it would be, as we see a foul there. Players getting tangled up, ultimately rewarded for the Aggies on a free kick here.
Can you take another look? Lindsay Prokop just got very physical. I didn't even realize it was that physical the first time we watched it. Kind of did a little bit of a bear hug. I'm surprised that didn't result in a card. But luckily for her, it didn't, and now New Mexico State headed back to the GCU goal.
New Mexico State with the cross coming in. The Lopes are there. But they continue possession to the Aggies before being flipped out a little by GCU as the fight continues for possession. In the GCU third, Pirro holding off the defender, passed over to Alderson. Alderson sees Valdez making a run deep with some speed. She has room. And that was taken off her rocker by Beerworth, and a foul is called.
Yeah, another set-piece opportunity for GCU off of a New Mexico State foul. They've made some good choices in those opportunities, but Gottschalk and her Aggie defense have done a great job with their reads. You see the foul there on Beerworth once again. That's a great call. Valdez upset at first for the delay, and now Pirro quickly off.
Pirro with the cross coming in by Gorley, trying to take advantage of it. Not quite on that one. Bends it back to her own team. Pirro looking for a cross once again. Opts to go to the left, and the cross just doesn't have the height on it along the ground, and that's going to be picked up by Gottschalk for a kick here for New Mexico State.
Take a look at Gottschalk for a second. What a talented player for this Aggies team. She's been WAC Defensive Player of the Week 3 times in her career, including once this season in September. She was an all-WAC honorable mention in the 2020-2021 season. So she's just very talented, and as you said in the beginning, she has quite a few shutouts on the season as well. So definitely a big reason of why New Mexico State has had the success that they have, as well as a big reason that GCU still has a big 0 on that scoreboard.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see some run right here. Reese Mendenhall to Prokop, over to Gorley. Gorley with some room. Not going to be there as McKenna Gottschalk makes a great play coming up to stop Gorley's run. As now the Aggies have possession in their own territory.
Yeah, another great defensive play by Gottschalk as we just got done talking about her. She's going to be a big reason why New Mexico State is able to stay on top if they do so.
The Aggies continuing to keep the foot on the gas with the possession. Beerworth there before being sent out by the Lopes. Puro to Valdez. Valdez bringing it over, waiting for Lopes to join her. Sees Alderson. Alderson passed deep to Prokop. Can't quite get her foot on it. And the Aggies switch possession. Lopes pick it up here with Prokop. Prokop back inside to Alderson. Sending it all the way over to Valdez, who keeps it in bounds. She's trying to find some friends inside. Valdez takes it herself, looking for the cross, finds the cross. And that shot is by Gianna Gorley. Could not quite send it accurately into the net. Instead deflected here, and it looks the Lopes are moving quickly.
Yeah, I guess they were rewarded a corner there, so it must have been deflected off of an Aggie, and now the Lopes back in it quickly.
Gorley with a deep cross, saved by McKenna Gottschalk, gets her hands on it. She wants to go quick while many Lopes are back on the Aggie side of the field. We're going to see Loma McNeese go fast, but before being surrounded by Lopes. Sending it back. In this back and forth matchup between these two teams. See, Lolly Hernandez had possession there for a moment before the Aggies send it deep, and the Lopes are going to get possession here inside their own territory. Alderson back there. And the Aggies are going to get the ball back. It's going to be Landy Williams there with the ball for the Aggies. As they choose to send it deep. And the Aggies are going to not have possession as the fight continues for the ball. Some physicality. And a whistle is blown. Leah Piro as the foul committed to her as she gets up and pleads her case.
Yeah, we'll take another look at what went down with that play. Yeah, definitely a physical play for both of the players, but now GCU headed the other way.
33 minutes into this game, and the Lopes are going to have possession deep territory. The shot is off target, and New Mexico State is going to take this one on a goal kick. 33 minutes into this game, we're going to see some subs.
Yeah, a couple of substitutions for New Mexico State. One of the players coming out is Lolly Hernandez, the Phoenix native. I actually went to high school with her. But she's very involved on their offensive side of the pitch. They're going to give her a break. We'll definitely see her back in later. That's Hannah Draper and Sydney Johnson coming in for Lolly Hernandez and Sophia Beerworth.
You're going to see the Aggies continue to take possession here with the Lopes fighting from behind. Passed all the way over, deflected off of a Lope. Mendenhall gets her head on it. Valdez has possession. before being jostled with an Aggie, sending it back to her defense. Lopes maintain possession on the near side over to Valdez, who has players and room around her. Opts to go forward herself, passes it over to Mendenhall. Mendenhall with the pass to Valdez, and then eventually finding Pirro. Pirro making a move inside. Shot deflected off the Aggies with another shot deflected back in, but bounced outside and blocked by McKenna Gottschalk. Not letting this one through now at the 35-minute mark.
What a play for Gottschalk. Take another look. It's a beautifully placed ball, but even better job by Gottschalk to keep that out of there. And you can see she's hyped up, as she should be, after an absolutely textbook save.
Absolutely. We're going to see a GCU corner kick on this one. Major opportunity for the Lopes, trying to get numbers moved forward so you can get ready for this corner. Corner's coming in. The pass across is up and over, and it hits the head of Sydney Roberts, but it is too powerful and not accurate enough to find the goal. It goes out of bounds. And a goal kick here for Gottschalk.
Something to note also, just before that corner kick, we did get a substitution for GCU. Magdalena Schwarz coming in for Lindsay Prokop.
It's roughly around this time where you start to want some fresh legs, get some new faces in there, see what they can do. And for GCU, you're looking for that spark as you find yourself down in this game. Brenna Alderson there fighting defensively for the Lopes, but the Aggies maintain possession. McNeese is going to pass back out to her defense. The Aggies keep it on the inside. Broken up by the Lopes. Gorley's in there. Gorley making some moves around the defender. Gets some nice separation. Sends it over. To Valdez on that side of the field. Send it back to Roberts. Signs is going to be there after some tough physical play, but they mark it good. Valdez has the ball. Back to Alderson. To Signs. To Valdez. To Signs, showing off the speed. Gets tripped up. We're going to see a foul called on this one as they are checking on Renee Signs.
And a yellow card came out on that play as well. Looks like Renee Signs very shaken up on the play. We'll take another look at what happened. They slow it down. Yeah, quite the slide tackle. Ended up getting just mostly the legs of Signs. It looks like she might come out now. And the card ends up being called on Talia Chaveria.
Yeah, tough there by Signs. Falling on the ground like that, it's definitely a lot of pain, but she looks to be okay. Thankfully, she is doing okay, and the Lopes are going to maintain possession here.
And she stays on the field. So that's good to see also.
Lopes with the cross in, still in possession. Gorley's there. Gorley with a, looked like a shot opportunity, not quite on target, but deflected off of an Aggie. That's the reason why it was not quite on target. And the Lopes are going to get possession with the corner here, but first, we have some more subs.
Yeah, that's freshman Grace Bartlett coming in now for GCU, as well as Emma Wackman coming in. So now GCU making a few more of those last-minute substitutions before the end of this half to try to get some fresh legs in there, as you mentioned.
Absolutely. We're coming up on 7 minutes left in the half. Lopes with the corner opportunity. Corner comes in. It's a little low. But through the legs of a Lope and ultimately in the hands of Gottschalk. Great chance and possession there, but not quite, as Gottschalk keeps this game scoreless. Or excuse me, non-scoreless. Keeps the shutout alive for the Aggies. GCU's going to send it deep, although no one is there. God's Chalk commanding her defense where to go. Likes to hold on to it a little bit longer, looking to send this one deep. Waves everyone forward. Sends a booming kick in there. Lopes respond. Corley with the nice kick, although it will be whistled. And it's going to come back the other way.
What a play that would have been. I mean, over, like, backwards pass from Gorley to find Schwarz. If that wouldn't have been offsides and that went in, that would have been one of the best goals of the year. But unfortunately, Schwarz got a little bit ahead of her defender. Or maybe it was Gorley that got ahead of the defender, actually. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, what a play that would have been had they decided to play on, but it was just a delayed offsides call on Gorley.
That's a booming kick for the Aggies, though GCU keeps possession. Ganef is back there for the Lopes to keep it out of the Aggies, but they maintain possession anyway with the prime opportunity here to kick it. Deflected, but McNeese is there. Deflected by a Lope, sent out of bounds. Continued to be sent out of bounds by Reese Mendenhall, saving the day. That's going to be a throw-in as opposed to a corner. Great defensive job by Reese Mendenhall making that tackle.
Yeah, Mendenhall said, "I'm sick of these corners. No more for you, and I'm going to kick it away." Great job by her, who always seems to make the highest IQ plays in situations like that.
Absolutely. We've seen her make those runs and those saving tackles multiple times tonight. She's done that a lot. But the Aggies maintain possession, taken away by the Lopes. The ball now flies high into the air. Maya Gaona coming into the game as a sub for GCU, getting some action. Ani Jensen chasing it back for the Lopes as the Aggies press the reset button. Take a deep shot from the kick of God's Chalk, but the Lopes are there. GCU still has possession, though, deflected by an Aggie as they fight to take advantage of 4 minutes left in this first half. Emma Wackman getting some touches right there. But the Aggies maintain possession. As Maya Hammock gets it down to other Aggies. Sends it over to Hannah Draper. Cuts it back inside. Looking for the cross in. Sent back out by a Lope. The Lopes are going to use the speed advantage through some physical contact. Renee Saenz is there, ultimately deflected off of an Aggie. And the Lopes will maintain possession with 3 minutes and counting left in this first half.
And what a run to get the ball all the way to the other side of the pitch. That was Saenz showing off the Jets. She gets right past those Aggies and it ends up going out for a GCU throw. What an opportunity, but now it looks like it'll be a New Mexico throw.
And New Mexico gets the throw here. They're looking to go deep with it. For the Lopes, keep it in their own possession. Sending it back on the defensive side of things. Although GCU is there. It's a very physical match, as we have mentioned. As we inch closer and closer to the end of the first half. Bartlett there. Deflected by Lope. Sent back and forth by both of these teams. Ultimately in the hands of Alderson for the Lopes. Sent back over for Schwarz. Back to Saenz, who's been everywhere this game. And not enough as the Aggies recover. Take their time looking to send this one deep as we are nearing 90 seconds left in this first half. And so far in this first half, the one that matters is the one on the scoreboard. That's for New Mexico State, as Loma McNeese so far has been the decider in this one with a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, what an opportunity that was. I'm sure we'll take a look at it again at halftime. But what a crucial goal. And we'll see if it ends up being the only one and the deciding factor of a very important match.
With less than 60 seconds remaining, both of these teams just trying to find an opportunity they can take advantage of late in this first half. Lopes have possession, although sent back out for another throw-in. They're going to throw it in quickly, knowing how little time they have, and the Lopes are making a run. The Lopes cross inside, deflected off an Aggie, but the possession is still there. Back to Alderson. Alderson with the shot just outside of the goal, and that one is going to be a no-go from Alderson as we have less than now 15 seconds. PA counting down from 5 as we're going to get the end of the first half here. Buzzer sounds, and the score is 1-0 in favor of to get the job done with 45 minutes left to go. We'll see which team comes out on top. Both teams jostling for possession early, starting with the Aggies, who look to make a run here. No one is available to make that run as intended by the Aggies. Jordan Ferguson's going to sit there with the ball and get it down there with a nice boot for her team. Aggies come out with possession on that one, bringing it deep to the far side of the Lopes. Kicked out of bounds by Reese Mendenhall. And it gets motion toward the other way. Lopes possession taking over. Mendenhall back into her defense. We see Ganef there. Ganef over to Iron Chad. Pass deflected by an Aggie. Piro contains it. Valdez is going to make a run with Landy Williams. Deflection there leaves the Lopes with the possession. Deciding where to go with it, they go to Piro. Deflected by some Aggies, taken back over by Brenna Alderson. Valdez looking for a fellow Lope. Gets Alderson. Alderson back into Piro. Piro trying to make a run along the side. Has some space. Tightly contained by the Aggies. Not much to do there. We're going to get a foul call here.
And a yellow card assessed as well on Leah Piro. So I believe that's the first card on the Lopes, as we saw a card earlier on the Aggies on Talia Chaveria. So now both teams with one yellow card.
Yeah, it looks like everyone is okay, just tying shoes there. Safety first, and that includes tying shoes when it comes to a dangerous game like soccer, very physical sport. McKenna Gottschalk here going to take this kick. She has a booming leg. We've seen it multiple times so far this game. Looking to set up her team nicely in at least the neutral territory. The kick goes roughly to the center circle. both teams jarring at it. Deflected off a few players into the possession of the Lopes. Sydney Roberts was there, so was McNeese for the Aggies. A little confusion as far as possession goes, both teams claiming it's theirs. The ball does go to the Aggies, and the Lopes are not happy with it in the meantime, double checking. So we have a moment here seeing what is going on and whose possession it will be.
I think a card might have been assessed against the GCU bench. And yes, it was. Something we missed there. You heard all the booing from the GCU crowd. And that was why. A yellow card against GCU. That's 2 in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, back and forth between whose possession it was. GCU decided to voice their frustrations, and the referee did not like it one bit, showing the yellow card here. Jordan Ferguson kicks it as the Aggies. That's going to be Hernandez with the ball. Tough tumble there. And in possession of the Aggies, foul on JC Ironshad.
Yeah, GCU coming into this one very physical. And you can't blame them as they remain scoreless. Trying to get something done defensively. JC Ironshad maybe a little too overzealous to try to get the ball back. It ends up being a foul. And now the kick for the Aggies.
Aggies have that kick. It is maintained in their possession for a moment. The Lopes looking to clear it out. Send a pass deep. Becca Valdez has the ball for the Lopes as they go deeper and deeper into Aggie territory. Cross back over by a Lope. Taken fully command, but then a foul whistle. Leopiro had the ball. Foul called on New Mexico State.
And great footwork, as always, from Leopiro, and she once again draws a foul as she did in that first half as well. And now it's another free kick opportunity for GCU as the foul gets called against Sophia Beerworth.
Leopiro is going to be the one taking the set piece for the Lopes in this scenario. Here it goes. Deflected through some physical contacts by an Aggie, although Reese Mendenhall keeps it up for the Lopes. Lindsay Prokop is going to go to chase it down. Looks for the pass. Pass in the box. And it's in the hands of Gottschalk, as she is going to save that one and send it back out of the danger zone for the Aggies. Chelsea, we've mentioned McKenna Gottschalk has been great all season, but especially tonight she has put on quite the performance.
Yeah, I mean, this would probably be a very different score had she not been having the match that she has been. It might have resulted in GCU having the lead at this point, but instead it remains a shutout, and GCU is now trying to catch up.
Great foot there on Prokop as now she follows through. She has Gorley to her right. Gets a little ahead of her with the ball, but bounced around back now to more Lopes. Crossed over, trying to find Gorley. Can't quite get it there, and the Aggies send it out of bounds, resetting. And the Lopes want to move fast. Signs into Gorley. Signs there with Ironshad. Back out to Alderson, to Roberts. To Ganef. Send over to Piro. But taken back by the Aggies. Ganef is going to be the one to end that run. Send it back in the Lopes' favor. Although possession is lost and gained by the Aggies. as they hit the reset button, take some time off the clock, send it back in their midfield. Renee Signs is going to be the one coming up for the Lopes. See players here. Gorley's on one side. She inches forward, cuts to the right. Alderson's there. Ironshad with the shot. Nice lefty, but right into the arms of McKenna Gottschalk, who's going to get that save as well. Nice opportunity there for the Lopes, but nothing to show for it, as Gottschalk is going to take another kick.
Yeah, another case of great Aggie defense and even better performance by McKenna Gottschalk, not letting GCU have any easy ones. A close opportunity for JC Ironshad and her Lopes.
Absolutely. Renee Signs right there with the ball. To Gorley with some physical play on Gorley. GCU's going to maintain possession. Signs looking to go quick here with speed. Sends it back inside. Lopes have an opportunity. Valdez saved. McKenna Gottschalk once again saves the ball on a GCU opportunity.
Man, if Gottschalk doesn't win WAC defensive player of the week once again from this game, I don't know who could have possibly have been playing better defense, as now I believe that's her 4th save on the match and another important and close save for Gottschalk.
Valdez and the Lopes still making their runs. They do not want to be denied. The Aggies do have possession in their own territory. Send it out. And the Aggies looking to push it the other way, sending the ball down to Jordan Ferguson, the keeper for the Lopes, who now trades possession. Sydney Roberts has it. To Prokop, although some stumbling between both teams there. Has it over to Maya Hammock. Finds some room for the Aggies, sends it down the left side. Hammock still with the ball, looking to send it in. Does in fact send it in, bounced off of a Lope, but still in the box. Sent back out by the Lopes. Although goes out of bounds. And New Mexico State looks to go at first quickly. They set it down, take their time. Brooke Schultz was there for the Aggies making that play. As we see Hammock coming over for the throw-in. Nice move there by McNeese, who has the lone goal today. Although it will go just down as a goal kick for Jordan Ferguson.
And another close play for McNeese and the Aggies, trying to extend their lead, but just off that time, and now we'll get a goal kick from Jordan Ferguson.
Ferguson has a strong leg. We see the ball kicked well deep down the field. Ball is being poked around. High in the air on now. Alderson can't quite get around it. Some physical play by McNeese, trying to inch closer into the box. Cut off by Ironshad. Pira trying to make a play on it, but it will go out of bounds. Possession for the Aggies. Still up 1-0 with 55 minutes played in this one.
And there's still plenty of time in this one for GCU to catch up. They're only down 1 goal. They could at least get a draw. And when it comes to these last couple games of the season, you know they absolutely do not want a loss. So they're going to keep fighting in this one, as they should, to try to at least tie it up, if not take the lead late against the Aggies.
Absolutely. Every point counts at this point in the season. And even a draw here, giving both of these teams 1 point, could be good. Aggies have a free kick opportunity here. Kick is up into the box territory. The Aggies have it. Although play is stopped by the ref for a foul. Free kick awarded to the Lopes for a foul on New Mexico State.
That was close. I thought that was going to be against GCU, and it looked like it was in the box. Take another look. Just a very physical play. Yeah, I definitely thought that would be on GCU, but no matter. GCU now headed the other way. But now we'll get a throw for the Aggies as they lost possession while we were watching that replay. But very close one for GCU. They can't get that physical in the box, or that could result in a penalty kick, which is obviously not what they want late in this one. So you get a substitution now. Schwarz coming back in, looked like for Prokop.
Yeah, more of trying to get those fresh legs out there. If you're GCU, you're looking for a spark. So far, you haven't found it, but there is still plenty of time left in this one. Renee Saenz taking it. Schwarz coming in, getting some action immediately right there. As the Aggies take it back, passing it back and forth. It's going to be Hammock down the left side. Looking to move around the defender, find some space. Moves back around the defender, goes left to the right, back to the left, but not quite that time. Schwarz digs it out of there. Pass it over to the Lopes. It looks like there was some physicality. The ref says play on. They go to Valdez on the side. The Lopes have some space and some room. Valdez with the ball currently. Valdez continuing to go. Valdez go. Shot missed. Blocked. McKenna Gottschalk continues to show up for the New Mexico State Aggies and keeps this one 1-0 for the Aggies. And a great opportunity and shot by Valdez, erased off the board by Gottschalk and her stellar play tonight.
You know, I'm not sure who exactly has the choice of picking the WAC Defensive Player of the Week, but take my vote for McKenna Gottschalk. She's been crucial in stopping all of these GCU opportunities. They have 12 shots, 5 on goal, and all 5 of those have been saved by McKenna Gottschalk. What a match for her so far.
She has played great as the Lopes continue to advance. They are not done yet. With 30 minutes remaining, the Lopes continue to make advances. Gorley with room and the space with the shot, and barely missed off the right side of the net. Incredibly close for Gianna Gorley. Cannot quite pull that one off.
Oh man, you know she wants that one back.
Yeah, tough shot here. Had the space, had the room, and it just barely squeaks by the outside of that post. And GCU still looking for their first goal with 30 minutes left to play.
And with where Gottschalk was, I don't think there was any chance of her being able to get to it had it been a little bit to the left. So you know Gorley's beating herself up about that. That really should have been the first goal for GCU, but no matter. We play on now as the Aggies get a free kick.
Aggies with the free kick here. Chaveria going to take the free kick with O'Kane with her team. Everyone's in the right position with the kick. Deep, booming kick. It's going to sail out of bounds for Jordan Ferguson and the Lopes to take back control. We've seen a lot more opportunities for the Lopes here in this second half, yet still nothing to show for it off the stellar play of McKenna Gottschalk. Lopes have possession in this one, taking a throw in here. Slips through some players. Ultimately landing back with the Aggies and McNeese. Sent deep for Valdez, who has some running room and players running with her. Valdez in goes the outside route, takes the shot. In once again to McKenna Gottschalk, who makes the save. Shot was along the ground. Gottschalk saw it coming and comfortably grabs that one. She continues her work here.
Another case of Gottschalk reading the play perfectly, knowing exactly where that ball was going to be. And ends up with another save. She now has 6 on the match.
Now the Lopes offense has been working toward it just as they are doing again. Nice move here. Mendenhall on the side looking to cross over. Gorley's there. Not quite. Gorley's shot will go over outside of the pole. Out of bounds. As she's going to clean up the own divot she made. As we see some subs coming on here for the Lopes.
Yeah, Iron Shad coming out. And that's going to be Ani Jensen coming in. We'll take another look at that opportunity for Gorley. Or not. But now it'll be a goal kick for the Aggies.
And not quite, but the Lopes are going to be in position to potentially take this one back. Playing aggressive, but Gottschalk sends it back out. Ani Jensen in there trying to get possession for the Lopes, but the Aggies are going to keep this one. Aggies pushing the ball back into their own territory. Gottschalk with the booming kick, sending it back to midfield.
I expect to see GCU make a lot more substitutions as we get closer to the end of this one, just because they've had their players so back and forth with all these offensive opportunities, but having to play tough defense. I'd be surprised if Coach Sissel keeps them in for much longer.
Absolutely. Zilali Hernandez there with the ball. Gets wrapped up physically with Schwarz as the foul comes out here. For a free kick opportunity for the Aggies.
Another set piece opportunity.
Brooke Schultz with the cross, sent back out by the Lopes. Williams keeps it on target for the Aggies momentarily.
I think they might have called that a handball against Gorley. Take another look. Yes, definitely a handball call against Gianna Gorley, but great defense to stop the Aggies from getting the ball right back into the box.
Brooke Schultz taking the set again. Right to Jordan Ferguson with the save. Ferguson not going to let that one by her, right into her hands as she looks to send it back out to the rest of her team.
And that's her first save on the match. Just went right to her. Easy stuff for the GCU defense as now they switch sides to offense. For a moment anyway.
Gianna Gorley had the ball there. She was sandwiched between 3 defenders. And the Aggies took the ball back on that one. Hernandez here. Looking for a pass. Finds another Aggie. We have Hammock here along the side. Cross sent in, but it goes right to Ferguson. Ferguson pushing the Lopes defense back forward toward midfield. She wants to send this one deep. Possession is controlled for the moment by the Aggies, although a little mistake right there gives it back to the Lopes. Mendenhall on the side, passing it over to Valdez right there. Taken away by the Aggies. McNeese is there, going forward for the Aggies. Passes it over with the shot, and it's in for an Aggie goal. Bianca Chacon with the shot to get this one to 2-0. Very nice play from her as she gets on the board in this one, and New Mexico State take a commanding 2-0 lead.
And that was Loma McNeese creating on that play with a beautiful pass to set up Bianca Chacon for a fairly straightforward shot. Got it in between the GCU defense, and now their lead extends to 2-0. Not what the Lopes want late in such an important match.
Absolutely not, but the Lopes are pressing very quickly here. Pirro is going to take it deep over to Schwartz. Just not enough there from Pirro, as it's going to go out of bounds for a goal kick from Gottschalk. The Aggies have done a great job of capitalizing on their opportunities, but it's also that combined with the play of McKenna Gottschalk that has this game 2-0 right where it is. Gorley in deep here, taken away by the Aggies. Nothing on that one. The Aggies have possession. Send it deep, looking at another one. Renee Signs keeps it for the Lopes. The deflection off two players. Ball is going to be awarded to the Lopes via throw-in.
And you saw Coach Rob Bartz on the sideline not happy about the call for it to go to GCU. But his Aggies defense gets it back quickly.
Aggies have the ball once again. Chacon there with the pass in to Valenti. Stolen by the Lopes. That's Reese Mendenhall. Over to Schwartz. Not the run they were looking for. Though Alderson does maintain possession for the Lopes. Signs with the ball at this point. Mendenhall over to Schwartz. Schwartz making a run. Gorley not quite finishing up there. It's going to be in the possession of McKenna Gottschalk as we creep closer and closer to 20 minutes remaining in this one. And the Aggies up 2-0. Sydney Roberts could not maintain that possession, as New Mexico State will get a throw-in on this one. Maya Hammock is going to be the one with the throw-in. Looks into the box for McNeese. Sent back out by the Lopes, and a throw-in in a very similar position for New Mexico State. Once again, Hammock. Schwartz there for the Lopes, looking to clear the ball. Hammock there over to Chacon, going along the side, twisting and turning. Sent back out by the Lopes as the Aggies look to hit the reset button for a moment and keep possession.
Aggies doing a great job right now to slow things down. No reason to rush any of their offense, seeing as they're up 2-0 very late in this one. But GCU needs to force it out of their possession if they want to try to get back in it late.
Some tough play there from both teams. Very physical. The Lopes are going to get the free kick here after the foul on the Aggies. We see right here Pirro and Beerworth getting physical with each other. The foul is called on Beerworth as Leah Pirro will take the set piece for the Lopes.
Yeah, I was going to be surprised watching that live if they hadn't called it. Very physical play.
Pirro into the box. Plenty of Lopes there off the rebound. It's going to be Aggies possession maintained by Schwartz for the Lopes. Alderson's there, not quite. Punched out by Roberts. Back to Schwartz. To Roberts. And the Lopes are not there in the box for that one. McKenna Godshock has it in her hands looking for another kick. Lopes gain possession, send it over Leah Pirro on the far side. Knocked back around by an Aggie. Maintained by the Aggies. That's Loma McNeese with a goal and an assist tonight, looking for more. McNeese looks for the ball, takes it over, passes it, sends it back out, but high kick. A little too much power on that one. Sends it out, and Jordan Ferguson will look to send it in quickly. But first, we'll get some subs.
It's going to be Lindsay Prokop coming in back into this one, along with Emma Wackman, the freshman and one of the veterans in Prokop, coming back in to try to get some fresh legs for GCU as they struggle to try to catch up in the last 17 minutes of what has been a very exciting match.
And with Prokop coming in late here for the Lopes, get some rest early on this second half, have some fresh legs, and we know Prokop has plenty of speed. Lopes trying to find an opportunity. Pirro has it down to Alderson. Alderson with the deep shot off target. Out of bounds, going for a goal kick for Godshock once again.
Yeah, not the way that GCU would have liked that drive to end, as it looked like Brenna Alderson was pretty open for a moment. But now the Aggies with the kick.
Aggies sending it deep. And it looks like possession will go toward the Aggies here. With 15 minutes remaining in this match, and the Aggies having a comfortable 2-0 lead. The Aggies still looking to be aggressive and add more. The shot goes in. There's plenty of people there. Knocked around by the Lopes. Aggies maintaining possession, sending it back to Gottschalk. Lopes are going to have possession in this one. Mendenhall with the ball. Lopes deflected off an Aggie and back into their possession. Aggies have some space here as they're looking to drive, improve on their score, moving right. Not there. McNeese still trying to make some action. McNeese trying to find a teammate. Valenti has the ball. Nothing there, and GCU's going to get the ball in fast with 15 minutes left and ground to make up. They have work to do in this one. If you're joining us late, goal by Loma McNeese and Bianca Chacon each have the Aggies up 2-0 in this one. The Aggies will keep possession here as it gets closer and closer. When they get in offensive territory, they will pounce on their opportunity, but when they're on the defensive side of things, they will take their time, run off some of this clock with some subs for the Lopes.
Yeah, it looks like JC Ironshad is coming back in, as well as Maya Gaona. But as you were saying, you know, the Aggies taking their time because they have the ability to do so. I mean, why would you rush things when you're up 2-0 late in a match like this? You don't want to end up giving up 2 quick goals and then all of a sudden it's a draw instead of in the win column. But GCU hoping to change that.
Piro with the cross coming in. Deflected off an Aggie, but kept here. Alderson with the shot deflected by another Aggie. Piro with some nice moves to keep the ball. Looking for a pass, fakes out a defender. Pass inside, deflected. Prokop with the pass inside. No one's there. Gorley off the bar. Not quite. JC Ironshad in there, Mendenhall. Pass over to Prokop. Deflected by Gorley. Though they call a handball on Gianna Gorley. It's what it appears to be. And the opportunity will come flat for the Lopes.
Oh my goodness, another one that you know Gorley wants back. It almost looked like it went in. Unfortunate for the Lopes. What a sequence of events that ended in that handball against Gianna Gorley. I don't think it was intentional. It just happened to hit the wrong part of her body, but now the Aggies able to kick that one out on what was a very dangerous sequence for them.
And extremely close. If you're the Aggies, you understand you're up 2-0, but you do not like to see opportunities like that arise. And the Lopes, to their credit, have been very aggressive this entire time. They understand the stakes involved with this game as we are counting down not only toward the end of this game, but toward the WAC tournament with few games remaining.
And considering GCU had a pretty rough start to the season, they're lucky they had this streak of wins in order to make it so they're even in contention to make that WAC tournament, because there was a while we weren't too sure, which was crazy since they were favored to be in the top 2 or 3 teams, and they are the reigning WAC champions. So very surprising that they had that start, but not surprising they went on a streak like that. But we'll have to see if they're able to recover, not in this one, but maybe in the next ones, if they're not able to do it tonight.
And Mendenhall with the cross. Prokop found with the ball. Bounced back out. Gorley. Gorley looking for a pass. Finds Brenna Alderson. Alderson with the shot. Crosses back over. Not quite. No one there to follow up. But we are going to get a foul. There will be a foul called on the Aggies.
And I think it's going to be a penalty kick.
Inside the box, which means a penalty kick is coming, and it's going to be Gianna Gorley taking it.
Well, of course. I mean, she's the one you want taking it, one of the best goal scorers in the entire country. I'm not sure I would have called that foul, but GCU's going to take it. As now we'll get Gianna Gorley, again, one of the best goal scorers in the country. And if she makes this goal, she will have the new GCU single-season scoring record. Let's see what happens here, Anthony.
Sitting with 13. The run up. Makes a move to the right, and it's in. Gianna Gorley, her 14th on the season. Chelsea, you mentioned it. Record-breaking stuff. Record-breaking everything. What a year Gianna Gorley has had so far this season.
And she is now the all-time leader in goals scored in a single season. Gianna Gorley with 14, breaking the record previously held by Marlene Schimmer and Vanessa Young. They were tied for that with Gorley until she made that score just now. GCU, of course, still down by 1, but it puts them back in it late. As you see in that graphic, now Gianna Gorley, one of the best Lopes to ever do it. Congratulations to her.
What a season for Gorley. She has made quite the jump from season to season, but she was great last season, and she's been even better this season for the Lopes. You saw it a little bit there that after she scored the goal, she was trying to get the ball as fast as she could to set up her team in order to get the team ready to close out this last 10 minutes. Now only down 2-1. Now we have a ball game on our hands, folks. The score is within 1, and whoever wins or draws, depending on what happens here, is big for the outcome of the WAC tourney. Some major movement could be happening here. But we'll have all 10 minutes right here on ESPN Plus with Chelsea and I. As now Iron Shad looks to make a move. Can't quite keep up with it as it goes out of bounds for the Aggies.
What an exciting sequence for GCU. I know they're still down, but what a big deal that is for Gorley to be able to get that record-breaking goal. At least they'll have that as momentum going into the last. I think they only have one more match on the season. But what a season it was for GCU. Hopefully for them enough to get into the tournament. But for now, we focus on this one and see if they can come out with at least a draw, if not be able to get 2 quick goals and end up taking over the Aggies.
JC Ironshad's looking to draw this one even. Passes it back in to Gayona. Not quite there. Ironshad with the lefty. A lot of power behind that one. Not accurate. Goes over to Prokop. Prokop sends it back in off the header. Just out of bounds. Just to the right. Gianna Gorley looking to pull off another miracle. Couldn't quite get it done as it goes out of bounds and will now be a goal kick for Gottschalk.
And what a close header. It would have been another one of those that I don't think Gottschalk would have been able to quite get to. But for now, the Lopes move on and try to hopefully get a draw. But the Aggies trying to cause the opposite.
And the Aggies still pushing. McNeese getting there with plenty of room. Not quite there. You see McNeese pleading her case, wanting the corner. But Jordan Ferguson sends it deep to give the Lopes a few more chances with less than 8 minutes remaining.
If any team can do it, I think it's the Lopes. They've been very good in situations like this historically. So we'll see if they're able to get another last-minute goal and tie this thing up.
We see Prokop with the ball now. Over back to Gorley. Gorley making some moves around defenders. Gorley passing it back over to Ironshad. Ironshad with an opportunity. Lefty cross. Sending it back over. Aggies clear it. With possession, Mendenhall fighting, though with the tug of the jersey, is going to get the whistle on that one. The Aggies will maintain comfortable possession after the foul call on Mendenhall.
Yeah, not the type of plays you usually see from Mendenhall, but also not the type of play you want to see for GCU right now as they try to tie it up late.
Defensive plays by Alicia Ganif, sending it back out for the Lopes, trying to get in that possession again to try and even this one up. The Aggies trying to maintain this lead, stay on top 2-1 or even more, and a whistle is called, giving the Lopes possession. GCU along the side, Mendenhall squeezed out by the Aggies, pushed out of bounds. Lopes ball, although Mendenhall is still down, a little slow to get up, making sure she is okay.
She was grabbing her knee. You know that always is worrisome. You worry about what that could end up being, but she runs it off, thankfully. That could have been an absolute tragedy for this GCU team.
Absolutely runs it off. Looks like we have a yellow card assigned to the Aggie bench this time. Little card action for both benches. Trying to plead their case a little too much, and the ref got tired of hearing it.
Again, it's that intensity between these two teams. And that card actually was against, it looks like, the entirety of the New Mexico State team as opposed to just their bench, as we saw from GCU earlier. But yeah, it goes back to everything that's riding on this match, and that's quite a bit. You know, tournament rights, rivalry rights, a close one late. We'll see if anything comes of it. As now we get a substitution for the Aggies. It's going to be Gia Valenti coming back in.
And with roughly 5 minutes remaining, GCU is still looking to push and find that draw. Valdez on the outside, looking for a pass in, decides to go back out, running circles around the defender. Nice set opportunity for Signs. Knocked out of bounds. Possession going toward the Lopes. It's going to be a corner kick. The Piro here fast, less than 5 minutes remaining. Piro's going to take the kick. Cross coming in. Deflected off, but Gorley is there with the pass. Piro is there with the cross once again. Deflected off ahead. And the Lopes' chances are stopped short by McKenna Godschalk once again. What a stellar night she is having in net.
Wow. I mean, just what a sequence for the Lopes, and for it to end once again in the safe hands of McKenna Gottschalk. Goes to show why she's the only goalkeeper on this Aggies team that's gotten any minutes this season. It's because why take her out? Why fix what's not broke? And it's absolutely not broke with how she has been playing. Wow, what a player.
She has played phenomenally this game. As we see a foul right there going on the Lopes, the Aggies will maintain possession. We see a player down, hoping she is okay.
Take another look at what happened there. Grabbing her knee. Oh, it looks like maybe JC Ironshad accidentally got her in the back of the leg. But it looks like she's going to be able to run it off. You saw the bottom of her screen. So hopefully she is just fine. At least good enough to finish this match.
Absolutely. That was Maya Hammock going down on that play. We hope she's okay and able to continue on. Less than 4 minutes remaining. Pass deep by the Aggies. In the hands of Jordan Ferguson. And we go once again. 3.5 minutes remaining. Lopes looking to tie this thing up in a crucial game leading up to the WAC tournament. Any points for either team is good. A win even better. Valdez on the side, turning it back inside. Passing it back out. Couldn't quite get past it. Valdez has possession. on the far side for the Lopes. Nice move right there. Crossed over. Valdez is going to have it. Passing it back down to Alderson with the lefty, but it's not accurate enough. A lot of power behind it. Sent back behind Gottschalk for another goal kick.
And I'm not sure why at this point in the match you would take a shot like that. Brenna Alderson maybe thought she was more open than she was, but she sends it so far over the top of the goal. Just unfortunate loss of an opportunity for GCU as we go closer and closer to the 2-minute mark.
And the Lopes have an opportunity right here. It will be slowed down by the Aggies, but everyone is up. Prokop with the ball. Looking for help, can't find any. And the Aggies take back possession. It's McNeese. And the Lopes are going to get this one back as they like to advance their numbers toward the opposing side. JC Ironshed with the ball. Passing it to where no one is, and we're going to get another goal kick from Gottschalk. With 90 seconds remaining in this game with a close one. Gottschalk looking for the kick, taking her time. Sending the kick deep. Valdez with possession. Piro trying to meet down there, but it is knocked away by Landy Williams. Gorley trying to get involved. And plenty of players are there for both teams. Sent out of bounds, last touch by Gianna Gorley of the Lopes, and the throw-in will be awarded to the Aggies, who continue to take their time. Less than 40 seconds remain.
And GCU might be able to get one last opportunity depending on how the Aggies play this. But what a stellar game for both teams, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, with 20 seconds remaining, and the Lopes are looking to push this one. They have an opportunity. Gorley going in. Gorley with the shot. No one's there. She still has it. Gorley with the cross. Nope. Deflected again. Gorley with the shot. She has to go now. And the shot is not there after